happy whatever
Good
day.
morning.
It's Wednesday. This is the thing, right? We're with clients yesterday, and they said, "So you, even though you work, sometimes don't know what day it is?" No, not at all. And it's just because we're busy, and sometimes we're not.
Well, and sometimes when we take, like Monday for me was a day off because I stayed at home and I cooked and stuff for dinner. And so it was just weird. So good morning, Randy. Good morning, Pat.
Hello,
How
hello.
are you gentlemen this morning? Julie, good morning.
It is one of those weird Wednesdays when we've got lots to do, we just don't know where to start. We have the guys going in the back. It's a lot of work. I mean, like those guys are digging up a storm. They have to get the fence ready first
before they can put the pool.
It's so weird. Like, how do people know what order to do stuff in so everything is perfect when it's done?
Well, I would hope that they know the order because that's what we're paying them for.
Well, you'd think you'd know the order if you're, say, doing road construction. Now, in Bucerias, over by our old house, for many years, it was like Afghanistan roads bombed out. Then they fixed it. Do you remember how perfect it was for that week?
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, we've got to improve the electricity underneath the street. So they dug up the street. Then, oh, the water, then the drainage. 3 times after they made the road perfect. It has never been perfect again. We're talking over 12 years, 13 years. How stupid is that?
Exactly. Good morning, Steve. How are you this morning?
Hello, hello. And Sherry.
And Sherry, good morning.
Good morning. So it was fun. We had 2 Sherrys on Ask Me Anything yesterday, one from Vallarta right now, and then one up, well, from La Cruz. The other one was in St. Albert, and it's spelled identical. And whenever they say anything, it doesn't tell us who's who.
Yeah, so we didn't know which Sherry was talking. And then it turns out that the Sherry that's in St. Albert right now, it was mostly her husband that was chatting. So we don't know who we were talking to last night.
It was just
That's the problem with not being able to see their faces. That's why we should do it Zoom.
Maybe we will do Zoom. The problem is that we bring in people from other platforms that we don't know.
We can block them.
No, you can't at first. So at first we would have to bring them on and they would be like, hey, look, I'm naked. And then they're like, boom, the damage is done, Mabel. Look away. You can't undo that.
Good morning, Lori.
Hello, Lori.
And Steve says that it sounds like Jay and Sam are back in PB.
Yeah, 18th, I believe they got back. That's what Sam told me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, John's been in contact with them.
Well, on my birthday, she said how beautiful you were. And then she said, we're going to be back on the 18th.
Well, that was nice of her to say.
It was. And you missed that? You know how many people said how beautiful you were? So many. And you just ignored them all because she knows. That's pride right there.
When was all this happening? Oh, in the chat, on
chats and stuff.
No, that was amazing.
I just don't even know what to say to you. So I am going to get a haircut today, and I'm probably going to get
Can't
the beard.
See John's face. I know. Goodness, Steve, don't even get me started.
You know, in all honesty, I think it was your son. Kind of like, you know, hey, maybe I should just grow my beard. Because for so long, I just always did like the number 1 or 2. And then now I'm letting it grow. This is the longest it's ever been in my entire life. Christie hates it. And I'm kind of deciding whether I like it or not. I have to blow dry my beard now. That's weird for me.
I mean, blow dry my hair.
It's weird for everybody. But I've blow dried my hair my entire life. It is true. And I have this powerful, and it seems even more powerful. So I see something happen with the electricity because it is like, it's like a blowtorch now. Well, and a fan.
With air.
A blowtorch and a fan.
Because a blowtorch would be fire.
It's like when you're walking in the parking lots in October in Vegas, that hot breeze that's always blowing on you. It's like a blow dryer. Here, the humidity is too high. It will never, ever feel like that. It'll feel like a hot shower, I think.
So our friends had an appointment at the house, and 1 hour before, the realtor canceled and said no. I don't know. I know he won't even respond to us anymore. Happy hump day, Jeff.
This guy is crazy.
And Carlos, good morning. How are you this morning?
Booyah.
Another beautiful day in paradise. Yes, it is.
It is.
It is. It's not so noisy right this second. Yesterday we got home, there was a tractor in our backyard, and I'm like, oh, cool. They're digging the hole for the pilings or the footings for the fence. And then soon there'll be a big tractor digging a big old hole for the pool.
It's just this, to get a better price. Yeah, I mean, he's going to do a lot of work to make it worth $1 million more.
No.
A lot of work. Now, that is an interesting thing.
But you know what? Now that there's all this attention on it,
prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
On that property. And he actually has
Good
a
morning,
number
Larry.
of clients that he has been showing it to until now. I think he's just trying to hold off.
I'm sure he is. It's first of all, it's his house.
Well, and his wife, ex-wife,
Wow. Yeah.
that's odd.
2 million more, OMG. Oh, you're kidding me. Is that what he said? Or 2 million more than what you bought, what you paid?
So yeah, it is. And you can't justify that in a very short time, but people with money and such a limited inventory, you guys got such a crazy deal. You know that.
Yeah.
So
now more than ever.
Yeah, you will be sitting on a $10 million property. Yeah. It's just a very strange world that we live in right now where stuff is going up so fast. What's real, what's inflation, and what's just because the government keeps throwing money at everybody right now. All I know is we sat with those people yesterday.
Good morning.
Two different people we met with yesterday, and the first folks think a lot like us. And I mean, the wife more like me than her for sure, because she wants to cause harm to people.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. And it's so weird.
I want to cause harm to you. You don't like that. So how come you can't pick and choose who I want to cause such a harm to?
It's personal when you come after me. For me, it's just.
Good morning, Marie.
It's entities.
Good morning, Mom.
It's people who represent positions. That's why I don't have a problem with the actual person. You have a problem with the actual person.
Just one.
Appreciate
that beard.
Yeah, well, the beard is a separate person now.
Yeah, I think so. It smells like a separate person.
It's very clean.
It is. He is very clean. I was gonna say something.
What? It must have been a lie, right, Mom?
No, just because, I was talking to another realtor yesterday, and she told me about clients of ours who we did end up selling their house.
They're baby children now.
But they were looking at another realtor and then so she looks through the deed and she says, oh, well, I see that, John and Christie, they sold you the house. He says, yeah. And then he says, yeah, and as a matter of fact, they just, live over this way and blah, blah, blah. And then
you're very slow storyteller.
Well, I'm trying to keep it generic, but anyways, so basically he said, this person said that he wasn't, she says, well, why aren't you just going to use them? And he says, well,
because they're good.
She says, they're good. And if they live in the neighborhood,
they will get you more money, blah, blah, blah.
And he says, well, our politics don't mesh.
This is a weird world where one side of the political spectrum is like, we are just little baby children and we don't want to deal with anybody else. No, this is really what's happening.
It's odd to me. So she looked at him and said, but they know the area and they know the house, and shouldn't you use them? And they're good realtors. And that is the problem I think that we're finding with a few other people, is that
they're giant baby children.
They're thinking because our politics are different that we can't sell their property. We don't have to think the same way to do our job. We do our job because we do our job and we do it well. We did end up selling this house. They're
lovely people.
Yes, they absolutely are lovely people.
It's very strange that we live in a time in history where people think that politics matter.
And and you're picking and choosing your business associates or people that you want to do business. Do you check the politics of the restaurants that you go to you make sure that the owner of the restaurant thinks the same way you do before you eat at their house?
Well,
I mean,
like
I get
office.
it's different. I get it's different going to a restaurant, going to a store, than having a realtor, because that's a very personal relationship. But it just seems weird to me. And this is not the first person that's done this. And won't be the last person. And you know what? We still have business pouring in. It's not that we are desperate and we need the business, but it's odd to me that people will make a decision, not the best person for the job, but the closest politics, bedfellows. I just don't. It doesn't. To me, that doesn't make sense.
No, that's the same thing though. When we opened up our new office that was in Dr. Morrow's place, we had folks that are like, we can't use you because you don't have an office. And there was an agent in town that was telling people, don't use them because they don't have an office. And I thought, well, when you're buying off of Amazon, do you drive around and see their office first? It's so
Good
weird
morning,
to me
Leslie.
that in this day and age of incredible platforms and businesses, online businesses, people want to see that physical thing. And it's the weirdest thing to me.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, the first guy who used us specifically because we had the office, he paid for our rent for 2-3 years.
We sold his house before it hit the MLS.
It double-ended it. It was, and we sold it for $75,000 over
than what we actually thought it would sell for. So Larry says, I find that libs who claim to love all are the most judgmental.
100%.
We have been on the receiving end of a lot of that love from these open-minded liberal people.
We know they're open-minded because they tell us. Yeah. Then they delete us.
Julie says it makes no common sense. It makes good business sense, and I agree. But I mean, I also understand that we are not everybody's cup of tea. John and I tend to be, mostly him, but we both tend to be fairly outspoken. And so it's not like we're trying to hide. We're not trying to hide who we are. We've done this show for 2 years. Anybody that's even checked in twice in 2 years knows who we are, where we stand.
And if Christie's pissed off.
And if I'm mad at John or not. Yeah. So it just is funny to me that this is still going on. I guess I just had to get that off my chest. I feel better now.
Yeah, but these same people though, they've been afraid to go out into the world. Like, and this is.
But a lot of people are, and a lot of people are worried about being.
Thanks, government.
Public, and you all know where we stand, so it doesn't matter.
Now the age of death. This is fascinating for me. 18 to 64 years old now. Average deaths, like just random deaths, have gone up 40% in 1 year. How is that even possible? I can't think of any
I'm sure
way.
It's not related to all the vaccines and
no, of course not. It has nothing to do with that.
It was very interesting to see that the American government overturned Biden's mask mandate.
Yeah.
That's exciting news. We have friends that flew. They're actually arriving today from the States, Esther and John.
Oh, very
so there's a picture of them, very excited, very happy, on the plane with no masks.
But here is the problem, though. After 2 years, you're removing all of this stuff. You're going to forget these people that did this to our economy, to our world for the last 2 years. This needs to stop. We need to get rid of every single baby Nazi out there.
You guys, Julie says, what? I didn't know that. You guys are outspoken? Who knew? Love you, Julie.
Thank you.
And Steve, I'm not exactly understanding. Hi, Jen, by the way. But Steve, I'm not exactly understanding. Heard that as you climb. Heard that as you climb the ladder of success, the devil is waiting for you at the top.
And you know, the devil's going up. So stab, 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 stab. We're your friends, stab, stab. We love you, stab, stab. We think just like us. You need to think like us, stab, stab, stab.
I could wear a mask, but this shot passport garbage has to go. I agree. I mean, John and I want to go to Texas in August for
I'm not a mask guy.
Seminar.
She's not a mask girl. She gets zit.
I do. I hate the mask. But
And it's just totalitarians that are telling us we must wear the mask.
Yeah.
So you don't do a damn thing. Just wear underwear on our faces.
Well, the funny thing is, I showed this the other day. This is my mask. You still can't see how these are all little sparkles, right? So you can see through.
You haven't lost one of them.
Yeah.
Why can't they do rings like that?
I know, right? But not one person. I get a lot of, oh, I love your mask. You're so pretty. I've never had one person say, oh, you can't wear that mask. You guys, it's see-through. I mean, look how see-through it is. You can see through it. And nobody has said anything. It's plastic. This is a plastic mask with little sequins on it, or they're diamonds.
Well, I think the thing that most people don't realize is the vaccine passports, all this stuff is just to track us. This has nothing to do with a freaking disease, guys. It is all government control. And if we allow them to do that, pretty soon you're not going to be able to pay cash for anything. There will be nothing that you can do that the government doesn't know about. That is a huge problem.
That's terrifying.
It is. In China.
And if they don't like what you're saying, they'll just block your account.
Now, understand, in China, which is just like the rest of the world with COVID, they're locking hundreds of millions of people, millions at least, up. But they're locked in their house. They're being removed because the government is trying to cause that supply chain shortage. I don't know what the hell Biden has done, who he has slept with. He's not a handsome fellow.
Julie says, we've learned not to take it personally, just be consistent. The hard work and consistency makes its own statement. And I agree with that. And I feel when we were just John and I in our little tiny, doing a few deals a year, we didn't bug anybody. Now we've always been fairly outspoken as to where we stood about certain politics and religion. Obviously, we're Christians. We go to church, and our son's a pastor. And
going to church doesn't make us Christian.
Well, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we've never hid any of that. We've never hid anything that we do. We're not perfect. I drink.
What?
John drinks. John lies because he just said he was perfect. But people that, no one can argue with success. That is very true. That is very true. And you know what? I'm not gonna stand here and say that we've got it all going on. I was just talking to Shirley this morning, and I said we're almost at our level of we got to find more people because we can't do it.
Yeah, we do. And that's the whole thing, is that we've been so not afraid, but we haven't had employees that
we've been so conservative in who we hire, and that's another thing. We're very careful about who we hire. We make sure our bird's back. We make sure that the people that we hire not necessarily think like we do, but they're not opposed to how we think. I think that's probably the best way. And they have to be, oh no, you drink. They have to be, we can't be friends anymore, Sherry, is that what I'm hearing?
Now, I do want to talk about that bird for a minute, because I think that bird may be an alien.
At least you weren't called a dirty developer on national TV and lied about. Oh my goodness, I did not know that happened to you guys.
Yikes.
So she said, don't worry about it.
And so the reason I think the bird may be an alien is I'm watching it the other day, and it's regurgitating stuff, and things are flying out of its mouth and stuff. So I go up to where the bird is on these two windows mostly. The bird is planting, it looks like eggs, little tiny eggs, and then eventually they turn into green things that grow on the black stuff. It is growing a garden on our iron bars. We have never seen this before, have no idea what the hell is going on. It is weird. Everything looks like alien stuff over there.
Well, now my mom has disowned me. Good. Oh no, you drink? I can't be your mom anymore. Hey mom, that was really cool about Jenna meeting Uncle Morris, hey?
Uncle Morris.
One of Grandma's, one of Grandma's nephews, did Jenna say? Jenna was at my cousin Jenna was at a casino playing cards while her husband and her son were
Gambling too in your family? Gambling and alcohol?
Well, my husband, yes, my husband was here. Used to go out once in a while. Her husband and her son were playing hockey, and she started talking to this couple, this older couple, or this older gentleman at least, and it turns out to be a relative. Who knew?
That is so crazy.
We used to have so much fun with him. Yes, a cousin. Yeah. And then Eva says Jesus drank wine. Yes, and I agree, Sherry. We do need to meet for a drink. Could be coffee, right, Mom?
Oh. Yeah, so the coffee maker is a very good coffee maker. And the reason we got this is your mom and dad had the same coffee maker.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going and going and going. Does not have the German name on it.
No, which is probably why it's still working.
It's a Cuisinart, which that doesn't sound German to me. But the other one, the Breville, German engineered Chinese crap. And this may be Chinese crap, but for whatever reason, it runs better.
My mom and dad, so they got their Cuisinart when we got our Breville. They still have the Cuisinart. We're now on a Cuisinart. John's mom and stepdad had a Cuisinart also, and I don't know if they're still using it. They weren't when we were up there. But no, I like it. I will tell you though, the first time I went to clean it out, I got teary because I used to do that. Oh, geez.
Oh, like your dad's?
Yeah.
And then when she's vacuuming, she just cries because it reminds her of when she was a child?
We used to have, my dad's cousin, so her second cousin. So that makes him like my third cousin. And she uses that coffee maker every day.
It's a damn good coffee maker. And it's got the beans on the top. So you put in raw beans, or not raw beans, but beans, coffee beans. And then it grinds it. Whole beans. Cool beans. That's the word.
Cool beans. Cool beans on the top.
Yeah. So normally Christie doesn't cry during here, but today obviously she's reminiscing about cleaning coffee maker. Just brings a tear to my eye.
Stop talking about it.
All right. So, have you ever burst into tears when you start cleaning your coffee maker? I just am curious.
You're such an ass.
I kind of am. I've never burst into tears cleaning anything. I actually have burst into tears.
See, that bird's mad at you. He wants in now. He's going to come pick your eyes out.
Oh, yeah. We've got little chickens outside the door, and Bailey.
The chickens don't bother Bailey at all.
No, but other dogs do.
So, well, I don't blame her.
Yeah. So anything else we can tell these folks? We've just gone and bitched and moaned. We haven't bitched.
Well, and today, again, at Rhythm and Blues, 4 to 8, they're having a fundraising garage sale. I will definitely be there. I want to go because I like garage sales. So I will definitely be there.
I love garage sales.
You can stay in the office because Shirley has a showing too. So.
I love real garage sales like north of the border where people actually get rid of crap. Mind you, the last time we went there, it's almost like people are doing it to fundraise. It just seems like everything's gone up so much in price at the garage sales. Like 3 years ago. It's like they use Facebook to make money now, Craigslist, all this crap. And it's just everybody's getting top dollar for everything. It doesn't make sense anymore. Nothing makes sense. Which is why I think we want to buy a house out in the country.
Yeah, except for we got notified yesterday that the land that we thought was available doesn't look like it is, and they want a lot more for it than we thought. So we
are going to find something out there, and we will have.
Being on the lake would be nice, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, Kira. How are you this morning?
Hello. What else is going on? Well, we found out too yesterday, 2 of the people that came in, they're working on getting a permanente, which I think is very cool. They've got that all lined up.
Oh, yeah, that's something that we can just mention really briefly. We did mention it last night in our Ask Me Anything.
If you have somebody helping you get your visa, do it in the state of Nayarit.
Yeah.
Because if you're in Jalisco, it's going to take 2 weeks.
At least.
At least. In Nayarit, 1 day.
Yeah. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
So remember, if they say they're going to help you, they may be doing that to get more money too. Like, oh, well, we justify our prices based on this, and we're in Jalisco, and you've got to keep going back. And now you're they got it down to one day.
Okay. Well, we have the machine here in Nuevo at the immigration office that actually prints your cards, which is my understanding is why it takes so much longer in Jalisco, in Puerto Vallarta, because they don't have that machine.
That's government. Like, guys, the fact that it takes 2 weeks versus 1 day across the river, that's just stupid. All of this is stupid. And this is why you need a business person to come in and start running government. Like, and just we need to figure out what's important to us and what's not.
Yeah.
I think military is pretty much the only thing that I can think of that's truly important. I don't know.
Military and police.
But even police, I think, would be better if you contracted it out. Like, to have prisons owned by corporations, that's stupid too. Because they just throw people in there to make more money, right? Got to have all these laws. It is illegal to put a paperclip on anything more than 5 pages. People are like, oh, that's dumb. There are so many dumb laws on the books right now that they can get us for absolutely anything. As soon as you piss somebody off.
Yeah.
As soon as you piss
because
anybody
they don't
off.
take them off the books. Like, don't tie up your horse to a certain post, do it on a different post. Well, nobody's bringing their horses, but now if you did, you'd be in trouble.
And in Mexico, they do have horses that come, and there'll be guys on the cell phone on the horse. Christie's like, I need to take a picture because that just is so crazy. And she's been saying that for 18 years.
It is, though. I mean, you think of someone on a horse, and you don't expect to see them talking on their cell phones. Like, it just doesn't. It just is.
In your world, in my world, I see it every day. It makes sense to me.
Debbie lived back in May. That's awesome.
Wow, she's in San Francisco.
Yeah, I knew that she was in San Francisco. That's why she wasn't at Easter.
Ah, your teeth are a problem.
Well, not now. She's at the dentist.
Yeah, but you can get dental in Mexico. It's so much better and cheaper here. Unless, of course, it's insured. Then you can't compete with that.
My mom said if only if police don't become illegal law enforcement and it becomes a police state like they did in Alberta, putting pastors in jail. You're right. And Debbie is saying, I look happier. Is your back better? It's getting there. It's still sore, but not like it was over the weekend.
The luxury boat trip on Saturday?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Chris is like, I'm not giving up all that food.
Jeez.
What?
That's not at all what I said.
That was your voice. I did your voice perfectly.
Yes, we had a drunk going down Main Street on a horse during fair days one night when we were out on citizens on patrol. And yes, you're right, Christy. It was funny. Is that in Lloyd that happened? That's funny.
See, up there, I can see that being very funny. Here, it's everywhere.
Well, it's commonplace here, but it still just is a, what would that be, like a juxtaposition?
Maybe. You go to a corner store here, you can see a horse tied up on a pole. Guys in the store.
Yeah, getting some stuff from the store.
He's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, I can walk faster than him. I can't gallop faster than him. I look at him trying.
Yeah.
That's not galloping, horse. Walk.
You're so embarrassing.
She's snorting.
I did snort. You're very embarrassing.
All right. And your snorting is good too. All right, guys. We are done. We're just now fighting. And you can't tell, but we are so angry with each other.
All right, you guys have a great day.
We've got to head to the office.
You will see us tomorrow.